What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and the overall markets. I'll talk about some big news that came out involving Tesla, what's going on with the news involving the markets, what you should be watching for as time goes on. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends very soon, in just about 8 days from now. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the market. So, as far as Tesla goes, as of right now, we're very, very choppy going back and forth between supply and demand. And you can see that our support is going up just a bit as we're approaching our 20 EMA, but the resistance is now once again getting tighter. So Tesla's getting very, very tight, and we are forming a pennant right over here. So we are getting ready for a much larger move very soon, and it could happen as soon as next week. Now, we'll have to see if Tesla could break out through one of these levels, but just know this about the news. There was some news that came out that the Tesla Cybercab robotaxi was spotted at Giga, New York. I think this is very, very important because Tesla's continuing to display them and give users more insights of what they're going to look like. And it's very, very cool in my personal opinion. It could also help to attract more of these users. So I think that's a good piece of news. Besides that, you guys can see there's some pictures right over here of what it looks like. So this is inside of New York. So very, very cool stuff. I think that it had a license plate number of 18. The reason for that is because it was one of them, one of the cybercaps that they used during the event that they had last month. But still very, very cool stuff. I'm very excited to see what else they end up giving us. Elon Musk did tweet about this earlier on about how, this could be very affordable. I'll talk more about that maybe in a later video, but great stuff nonetheless. Also, there is some news right over here about how Tesla jumped the gun because of the fact that Nissan drivers will have access to the superchargers. I think it's cool news as well. This gives Tesla a lot more exposure. We did talk about this yesterday, and allows for a lot more growth moving forward. There's going to be higher demand for Tesla's overall supercharger network, so Tesla will have to accommodate those different standards very soon. But still, great news at least for Tesla moving forward. Now, for the broader markets, know that today is Friday, November 22nd, 2024, at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 15 minutes after the market opens. Okay, we have the S&P Global Composites, Manufacturing and Services PMI reports coming out. This may cause some volatility, so get ready for that. Then at 10 o'clock a.m., we have the Michigan Consumer Sentiment reports as well, which may also cause volatility. So get ready for volatility at 9:45 and 10 a.m. for the broader markets. Specifically, I would say 9:45, so we're going to be looking for more of that. So watch that very carefully. Besides that, just know that today is a Friday. Fridays are known for their manipulation. There might be a lot of like choppy price action because when you look at SPY, for example, for November 22nd, we have a little bit over 300,000 calls expiring and over 400,000 puts expiring for 1.28 puts to call ratio, with 589 being max pain. So right now, at least during the pre-market, Tesla has bounced off its 20 EMA, but the market is still very, very choppy as a result of that. So, what I see for Tesla is this. I think that we're going to be range bound for the time being. Tesla tends to get bought back up at our 20 EMA. This is going to be near 337. We also tend to reject near 346 around this range, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. In this case, we touched the support here, so it is possible Tesla attempts to push a little higher into like the mid 340s for that 346 target. Then we come down, just continue to consolidate for some time. But until we lose 330, or if we break past 350, Tesla will remain range bound unless we break through those levels. Then we're going to be looking for a much bigger moves. Just keep that in mind for now. That's what Tesla is doing. There's not really much. We could see more volatility at 9:45 a.m. maybe for Tesla, but we'll have to see. There's probably going to be more volatility for the markets if we end up getting that move. For SPY, okay, SPY is in a very interesting place. Just know that for the last 4 days, we dipped in the morning, then we got bought back up. So it's possible we do get a morning dip right over here, right back down for that 591 target near our 20 EMA. But then we might get bought back up and just continue to consolidate. I do want to warn you guys that it's Friday, and Fridays are known for their chop. So look at this resistance on SPY, very close to 594, and we have support at 591. We're going to most likely see a little bit of a dip when we open before we get bought back up. Look for a big reaction depending on what the PMI data report looks like as well. We'll see if we get a rug pull or not, if we just end up like bouncing. I think we dip a little bit upon open, and then we'll have to see what the move is. Just know there's going to be a lot of chop today. It is a Friday, so be careful. There's going to be a lot of manipulation because the puts and call option ratios are very balanced. So the market makers could hurt both sides by chopping the markets. Be very mindful of that. For excuse me, ES, we dipped back down to our 20 and 50 EMAs. It's possible we do retest them at 59.40 before it tries to bounce again, but otherwise, I do see some risk of lots of chop. I'll look for a dip upon open to about 59.40. Then we should try to rebound off of that. And I think we're just going to continue to chop around, so give it some time to develop. We'll have to see what happens after that. For Nvidia, we're also chopping around. We could be dipping closer to about 144 before it tries to rebound for 146. I'll look for a dip upon open and a lot of sideways price action for now. It is a Friday. Then we'll see what happens during the PMI release. Will it cause a bigger pump or dump? I do want to mention that Bitcoin came very close to our targets. We're at 99,500 is where we met. Very close to the 100,000 mark. It is dipping a bit as a result of that. Might retest 97,500 before it tries to rebound again. It is slowing just a bit, so watch for that. But overall, Bitcoin remains on a very, very strong uptrend unless we lose 96,000, which is our 20 EMA. We haven't done that yet, so it might dip a bit and still get bought back up. Bitcoin has not lost key support. For NQ, we're very choppy. We dipped a bit. We're trying to get bought back up right here. We'll have to see if we could hold above 20,780. If we hold that, we're looking for 20,900 as our targets. If not, we're just going to be consolidating. So I think that upon open, it's just going to consolidate in this range around the 20,700 area. Then we'll have to see what kind of reaction we get. I'm not really seeing much that's going on with this. Just keep that in mind. For the QQQ, is the same thing. Essentially, we're trying to get bought back up right over here. We might dip closer to about 503, maybe a little bit below that before we get bought back up. But then I see a lot of choppy price action during this pre-market session. So that does give us an idea that there might be a lot of chop as well. So be careful if you're trading options. For Apple's also very, very choppy right now. We might be dipping to about 228 or 227.25. And we'll see if we get a bounce or not, at least moving forward. As far as Netflix goes, Netflix is also dipping right here. We'll have to look at this 900 resistance. If that does not hold, we're going to be looking for this imbalance back down to 888. So that could be looking for a little bit of a dip, and we'll have to see what the reaction from here. For the IWM, we were trying to push. This might dip back down to about the 234 area before it tries to bounce, but this has potential to push up to the 236s. A small dip and a bounce could be coming. It's holding up very, very well nonetheless. Coin is looking a little bit weaker here. We have to see if we hold 288. If not, this could be dipping lower. This could be like a double top rejection. So there's a potential setup on this. But watch this 288 support. If we hold this, we could attempt to rebound for 306. If we lose 288, we're looking for a dip back down for about 275. So keep that in mind. For Amazon, we're on a bit of a downtrend. We could continue this downtrend as time goes on. We'll have to see if we could reclaim 200 or not. If we do pop and don't reclaim 200, we could continue to dip closer to 194. So I see a little bit of weakness on Amazon's chart unless we try to reclaim 202. So I think we're going to be touching 200. We'll have to see if we get a rejection, which could bring us even lower. Meta, very flat right now, not really doing much. We could attempt to try to break past 563 though. So watch 563 to 564 in this range. If we break that, we're looking for 568. Otherwise, I see a small push and some consolidation. For Microsoft, we're on a bit of a downtrend right over here. We'll have to see if we reclaim 415. Otherwise, I do see a risk of dipping back down to 410. For Google is also on a bit of a downtrend here. We need to try to get back up of 170. Otherwise, I do see a risk of it getting closer to 166. So this is showing a little bit of weakness to me. There's not really much to say other than the fact that the market looks a little choppy. We might dip a little bit upon open, so keep that in mind. And then we might see a lot of choppy price action since it is a Friday. So just keep my warning about that. Tesla might be very choppy for the time being, but we're looking for a very big move next week, most likely. So get ready for Tesla to do that. Watch for volatility for the broader markets at 9:45 a.m. mainly, and also at 10 a.m. And we'll see what the data leads to. Thank you all so much for listening. And by the way, that's 15 minutes and at 30 minutes after market open. That's when you want to watch for volatility. Until I see you guys again, please have a great rest of your day and peace out.